Like I said, this one's probably going to be a little bit shorter, but we're going into the main, I guess, sort of the main thing that I'm going to be continuing to do in my episodes is running down my top 100 films of all time. So with this, a couple disclaimers. All these movies, like I said before in my previous, when I talked about 100 through 96, is that all these movies in this top 100 have the movie magic. I don't need to say it every time. These are not in-depth reviews that I usually do. I'm just going to be quickly talking about these films, running them down a list, and just kind of telling you why I love them, if they're going to rise in the future or fall in my top 100 later. That's kind of what this is. So without further ado, we're going to, like I said, I did 100 through 96. If you haven't watched that, watch my video on YouTube or listen to my previous podcast episode 12. It's in there. The beginning of my top 100 films from 100 to 96. And this one, I'm going to be running through 95 through 91, the next 5. So without further ado, number 95 is Kick-Ass. That's right. Kick-Ass, a comic book film, a film that's based off of a graphic novel. Directed by a fantastic director, Matthew Vaughn. He directed X-Men First Class. He recently did the first Kingsman film. He's done other things that I'm kind of blanking on, but I think Kick-Ass might be his best film. It's definitely my favorite film of his. It stars... Oh, gosh. Excuse me. Hold on. It stars Aaron Taylor Johnson. He played Quicksilver in the Avengers movies and the Marvel movies. He's been in other stuff. You know who he is, but he's mainly known for this one, I think. I always see him as Kick-Ass. Nicolas Cage is in it. Christopher Mintz-Plasse, McLovin from Superbad's in it. Mark Strong. Chloe Grace Moretz, she plays Hit Girl. She's probably the best part of the film. I think probably what I love about this one is that it takes the comic book genre and kind of turns it on its head a little bit and just has real life ordinary people just decide to become superheroes. And that's kind of what you have. That's what Kick-Ass is. He just decides to become a superhero. He just decides to become Kick-Ass. And, you have other heroes and other people, and it's hilarious. The action is surprisingly really good. Nicolas Cage has just never been better, ever. Nicolas Cage is hilarious. He's all Nicolas Cage, and he's like a Batman ripoff. It's hilarious. Chloe Grace Moretz, I think she's 14, maybe younger in this film, and she's swearing. She's saying a bunch of swear words, which is hilarious. It's super violent. It's super comic book-esque, mainly because it's based off of a graphic novel, and I just love it. I think it's amazing. So if you haven't checked Kick-Ass out, I will definitely check Kick-Ass out. It's a great time. It's just a good time. I would describe it as a really great time. So moving on to number 94, we got A Few Good Men. That's right, A Few Good Men, starring Tom Cruise when he was pretty young. We got Jack Nicholson, Demi Moore, Kevin Bacon's in it, Kiefer Sutherland's in it for a little bit, but classic film. It's a military drama, military courtroom drama, which is it's a pretty big movie. I mean, I don't think I really need to describe exactly what happens in A Few Good Men, because I think most of you have heard of Few Good Men. You've definitely heard some very iconic lines. You can't handle the truth. Like that line comes from this film. So it's one of the best courtroom dramas I think I've ever seen, and I'm definitely a fan of that genre. And I think Tom Cruise is amazing. I love Tom Cruise. I also love Jack Nicholson, so that's always great. It's a great time. I love A Few Good Men. Could it fall? Could Kick-Ass and A Few Good Men fall? Probably not. I would say I'm probably gonna keep both of these in the top 100. I think both of these films are great. But could it rise? Could this one rise in the future? I don't know. It depends. We'll see. Probably not. I would say up until like number 60 in my top 100, it's very flexible. They change. But I think above 60 or above 50 is pretty set in stone, but we'll get there eventually. So moving on to, oh geez, excuse me. Sorry, been drinking too much of this energy drinks, man. I'm burping all over the place. But anyway, so number 93, we got Rudy. Rudy. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. It's probably like, Michael, please stop doing that. But anyway, yeah, we got Rudy. I think I have a soft spot for sports films. I'm really into sports. I love football. I love baseball. I used to play baseball. I really, sports movies can be incredibly cliche, and this one is, but like it was made back in 93, 92. I don't know, but it stars Sean Astin, Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings. Jon Favreau's in it, which is hilarious. But I mean, it's just an inspiring story. If you don't know what Rudy is, it's about a kid who dreams to be on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team, and it's just his journey to, getting there and, playing a game and being in a game. And it's just so inspirational to, follow your dreams and, to not quit and just be persistent. It's a really cool, it's just a great film. And I think Sean Astin, I mean, it gives one of his best performances. I mean, other than, as Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings, I think this one is the second best. I mean, it's Rudy. But, yeah, great fucking film. So, yeah, check Rudy out if you haven't, if you're into the whole sports movie scene. But, staying on the topic of sports movies, especially football movies, from number 92, I have Remember the Titans, because this is just such a nostalgic pick for me. I mean, it came out in 2000, but I used to watch this film so much as a kid, and this might not be like the greatest film ever. It's probably not even the greatest football film ever, but like, I don't know. I used to watch this so much, and it's just very nostalgic for me. I don't think these two football films will ever rise and fall. I want to keep them in here because I love both of them so much. And if you don't know what Remember the Titans is, it stars Denzel Washington, Will Patton, other people that you would recognize from other stuff as they're Ryan Gosling's randomly in it too, when he's like fucking in his like early 20s. It's pretty hilarious when he's like first starting out in acting. I think this is pre-Notebook. This is definitely pre The Notebook. So yeah, if you're interested in that, I mean, there you go. But yeah, it's a story about a school kind of integrating with African Americans and the whole kind of conflicts that go around with that, and how them unifying on with the football team with black and white people, like kind of just integrating and accepting one another, how that kind of makes other people around them just kind of tolerate everything and just be more tolerant and be more accepting to one another. And it's just a beautiful film, and like all these sports films, it's very inspirational. It's a very happy ending type of film, and it's just great. It's amazing. And it also has really sad emotional moments. And like I said, it's nostalgic for me. This might not be the greatest film of all time or the greatest, sports film of all time, but I still love it. So check Remember the Titans out. So lastly for today, I'm going to be talking number 91. And the 91 spot goes to District 9. That's right, District 9. A hard sci-fi film directed by Neil Blomkamp. Stars Charlotte Copley. If you don't know who that is, you probably recognize him. But Neil Blomkamp, if you're unfamiliar with him, this is probably his biggest film. So if you're unfamiliar with Neil Blomkamp, his other films probably, he directed Elysium and also Chappie, and he was also rumored to do the next Alien film. Right after Prometheus came out, I'm pretty sure, but Ridley Scott was just kind of being a dick, and he's like, no, I'm gonna do another Alien film. But because of District 9, I thought Neil Blomkamp doing an alien film would have been the coolest fucking thing ever. I would have been like, oh, dude, we would have Colonial Marines back. It'd be like sort of James Cameron-esque aliens, more like James Cameron's Aliens rather than Ridley Scott's Alien. Two very different films, but I mean, two spectacular ones, and both are on this list. Spoiler alert, but they're pretty high. But anyway, getting back to District 9, if you're unfamiliar, District 9 deals with sort of, a spaceship shows up on Earth, I think it's in South Africa, or it's somewhere in Africa, and basically it shows up and aliens come down, but they're, not as... I guess their ship loses power. I forget exactly why they're there, but it deals with sort of how we would react to aliens, how maybe we kind of treat them like sort of like insects, and we have these like camps and stuff, and it deals with a lot of the real world aspects at the time, such as apartheid, when this was coming out in Africa, and it just kind of replaces the aliens with, people who were being discriminated against in Africa there then. So I thought that was really cool. That's kind of what sci-fi is there for, especially hard sci-fi, to kind of bring out, sort of human elements in a sort of extraordinary and psychological, scientific advancements, I guess. I feel like I'm just kind of getting off track here, but District 9 is great. Neil Blomkamp's a fantastic director. It's very unique. He has a very unique style, especially with his violence. I thought his violence is it's very gritty and very, like, realistic and very, like, holy shit, this is very visceral. The best way I can describe District 9 is visceral. That's probably the best word I can describe it, and it's really good. And Charlotte Copley is fucking amazing as the main character in this film. And also, it's also kind of an inspirational story, especially at the very end. I thought it was really cool and has a really good ending to it. Kind of teases a sequel. I don't know if we would ever get a sequel to this movie, but I would definitely welcome it. But yeah, has the highest tomato meter rating out of this 5 that I've been talking about, with a 90%. So if that matters to you, there you go. So all the rationale I have to putting it in my top 100. So yeah, that's 95 through 91, guys, and that's my top 100 on my next 5 films in my top 100 for you guys. So